It's the Chris and Chris show. On today's show, we preview the Hurricanes game, my least favorite team because of her. And we talk about contenders and pretenders. If I got that right. Do not go away.
You're Locked On Golden Knights, your daily podcast on the Vegas Golden Knights, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
What's up, everybody? We are a house divided today. We have the Golden Knights and the Hurricanes tonight. You got the looks from the kids right now. We have my son's favorite Golden Knights against my daughter's second favorite team, the Carolina Hurricanes. Special game for Daddy, of course, because it's me and Allie will be up in the seats tonight. No media tonight for me. I'll just be enjoying the game with my daughter, and we're gonna have a good time in the back of section 217. So any of my friends at the game, come bring me peanuts and popcorn and M&Ms and coffee. If only one of those things can make it down from the press box, bring me coffee. All right, here we go. This is the second meeting of the year between the Golden Knights and the Carolina Hurricanes. Allie, that was the score the first time they played. What was the score the first time the two teams played each other? Say it in the microphone.
6-3 Hurricanes.
6-3 Hurricanes. It wasn't even that close of a game. Guys, if you remember, the Hurricanes were winning this game 6-1. Svechnikov, and actually the game was tied after the first period. Svechnikov got the first goal of the game. William Carrier scores with about 7 minutes remaining, and then a terrible second period. The Carolina Hurricanes actually railed off 5 straight goals between the second and third period. With the Golden Knights down 5 goals, Jack Eichel and William Carrier get some late goals to make the score somewhat respectful. Chris, buddy, you mentioned Cassidy had some comments in the media yesterday about the Hurricanes. What do you recall? You were talking about it before the show started.
And from what I heard you listening on your phone, I believe I heard him say, we beat them twice last year, so we should be able to beat them at least once.
And for the record, that's your Coach Cassidy. That's your Coach Cassidy impression right there.
Well, I remember that. And yeah, they should only beat the Rangers once.
Chris is still salty about the Rangers. All right, Allie. Here, Chris. Allie has a message for you, Chris. Shut up.
Yeah?
Talk about the Hurricanes winning.
Yeah?
And Chris says, shut up. You owe me a Twitter. And here's my sign. Little Chris, please lower your voice, young man. And just in case he's watching, here's another sign. Shut up, Tony. We can all three of us can agree on one of these signs. The rest of the signs are controversial in the Golick household, but the shut up, Tony one, that one is accurate. Okay, so guys, we got a big game tonight, right? Allie, you and I have seen the Hurricanes a couple seasons ago. Do you remember how that game went?
Yes. I remember one thing, and it was the Golden Knights winning, which I was not happy about.
Yeah, but there was also one that went to a shootout. What happened that time?
I can't remember any other.
The Hurricanes won in a shootout once.
Against the Golden Knights.
Yeah. One of the times we went, the Hurricanes won, and I think one of the times we went, the Golden Knights won. I think last time we went to the game, Allie, you were wearing that jersey you're wearing right now, but I think you were wearing Golden Knight pajamas. So Chris is frozen right now. That's not good.
What?
Chris is having a good time. You're good. You're good right now, buddy. You're good. I got to upgrade our Wi-Fi. I think maybe it's not working well today, but that's okay. All right, guys, let's just dive right into what we think is going to happen tonight. There's a big benefit for the Golden Knights. The Golden Knights last played Monday against the Minnesota Wild. They've had some practices. They've also had some optional practices. So the Golden Knights have had some time to rest, recuperate, strategize, and get ready for this game. As Tony would love to point out, the Arizona Coyotes played last night against, or the Carolina Hurricanes played against the Arizona Coyotes last night. So the Carolina Hurricanes come to Vegas on the backside of a back-to-back. I would expect the Hurricanes to have an early jump in this game, But then as the game progresses, I think the Golden Knights can possibly wear out the Carolina Hurricanes and find a path to victory. Oh, here goes the sign again. Here goes the sign. Here go the kids. We got the kids. We got fights happening. All right, guys. I want to get right to locks of the night and predictions. I think this is going to be the most exciting locks of the night and predictions of the entire season right here. So, Christopher, you're going to start. You're going to start when this one. I'm scared, but go ahead, buddy. Who do you think's who's going to score, factor into the game, and what's the score going to be?
Well, I think the Golden Knights are gonna be able to have are just gonna play better in the first two, because of course you got Carolina traveling from Arizona to Vegas. It's a little bit of practice time, so I think Vegas is able to start, and then Carolina I believe Carolina just plays a better third period than Vegas, but I still think Vegas can find a 4-2 victory. With Stone, and I'm hoping a Hager bomb today.
You love the Hager bomb. You keep calling for a Hager bomb. All right, Allie, the guest of honor on Locked On Golden Knights today. Get nice and close. First of all, give me your score prediction.
4-5 Hurricanes. Stone
Marchessault. All right, Allie. I think this is for maybe the second time of the entire year where Allie did not take the Golden Knights. And the first time was probably the Golden Knights played the Hurricanes earlier in the season, so that's why I said it's probably the second time.
I predicted the Knights to win that time.
You still predicted the Knights to win that time, and you were wrong. So, Allie, hopefully you're wrong tonight. Look at that look. Look at that look. Look at that look. Folks, if you're watching this podcast, allow extra time to get down to the arena tonight. The Tropicana stuff is just going to be absolute mayhem. Consider jumping on the monorail from Sahara. Consider taking the RTC from Green Valley or Boulder Station, Centennial. I think it even picks up from the practice arena, City National as well. So maybe consider taking alternative transportation. Me and Allie are still figuring out what we're going to do. If we're going to do monorail, if we're going to just drive and take a chance. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know. But we're going to have fun tonight, right?
Yeah.
So come on to the back, section 217. Have some fun with me and Allie up in the seats. And like I said, bring snacks. Bring snacks. Bring her snacks. Bring me coffee. And we'll be a happy family in the back. It's 217. All right, Chris, anything else as you're hacking up along you want to talk about with tonight's game?
Yeah, Vegas will win. Yo, you're Hurricane fan.
Oh,
yeah.
boy.
Yeah, that's
hey, Chris, the Hurricanes have... Oh, okay. I thought you were going for the cup, but the Hurricanes have a cup, too, so...
Yes.
There we go.
Look,
the Hurricanes have one of those flags, too, just so you know, buddy.
Look who's
Allie,
the reigning... Look
there,
who's
that's
the
fair.
reigning champion, though.
The reigning champion are the Vegas Golden Knights. That's fair. All right, Allie, anything else you have about tonight's game you want to talk about? Or anything you're looking forward to tonight?
Hurricane winning.
She's looking forward to the Hurricanes winning. All right, guys, that's it for our
That's
fun preview.
Enough?
Maybe not the most informative, but definitely one of the most fun previews I think we've had in the history of this show. All right, our next segments, and you're welcome to stay, Allie, if you want. We are going to talk about contenders and pretenders in the Western Conference, and we'll hit the East a little bit too, because, well, we got a couple fans of teams in the Eastern Conference on this podcast today. All right, so Christopher, here's a cookie for you. New York Rangers, contenders or pretenders?
Contenders.
Yeah. So the Rangers, the only thing that's kind of weird is Jonathan Quick. Jonathan Quick's playing great. Igor Shesterkin has been playing better, but, you know, I mean, is this in 2024, is this the year where Jonathan Quick leads any team to the Stanley Cup final? I mean, that's pretty crazy to think that that's a possibility given how the last couple of years of Quick's career have gone. Allie, Carolina Hurricanes, contenders or pretenders?
As pretenders, I think they'll do bad. As contenders, I think they'll do good. Okay. Contenders.
Yeah, listen, the Hurricanes, one of their best intangibles is Coach Rod Brindamore. Rod Brindamore is, I've said this so many times on Locked On VGK, Rod Brindamore is the type of coach that makes a team just want to run through a brick wall for him. You okay over there, Chris?
Yeah.
He's just an amazing coach. He finds ways to get players beyond their potential. He's one of the best in the NHL. Edit. Biggest concern about the Hurricanes, we've seen this in Vegas. Kachekov, Ranta, Freddie Anderson, Spencer Martin, and Yaniv Paredes. So, only if you could see what's happening in the Golick house. My wife's trying to make our cat do tricks right now outside the office. And, of course, Allie, I need the headbutt if you're leaving. Okay, stay here, Allie. Stay here. All right, so Allie sees a cat and she's gone. That's the attention span of when it comes to my family and animals.
So,
So there we go with that. So what I was saying about the Carolina Hurricanes is my concern about the Hurricanes, their goalie situation. Golden Knights did a really good job the previous season utilizing 5 goalies, including. Here we go. We have another special guest on today's show. Meet Pumpkin, Dorito, Cheeto, Orange Cat, Golic, or whatever all the names are.
we're not
It's Pumpkin
playing
for short.
Panthers.
All right, guys, the show is off the rails. There goes the cat blocking the camera. Oh my goodness, this is we are completely off the rails this morning. We have another cat. Surprised you guys didn't. We'll go get that one too right now. There goes Chris flipping out. Oh God, I think my wife's going to get the other cat. All right, so while we're going here, all right, let's stay with the cats. Florida Panthers, contenders or pretenders? Florida Panthers, contenders or pretenders?
Contenders.
I think the Panthers are playing great this year. I think it's a great story. Allie says contenders for the Florida Panthers. I'm going to say contenders. I'll double down on that one. So much to like about what Florida is doing. And hey, Vegas will take that Stanley Cup rematch, right? Florida Panthers, Golden Knights. I think that would be a ton of fun. And I would love to see how Florida just handles their press conference. They seemed like the situation was a little too big for them last year. I think if the Florida Panthers go back to the Stanley Cup final, teams, including the Golden Knights, would be in for a rude awakening. Florida would be a very tough team to go against. All right, let's shift our mindset to the Western Conference. Let's go with a couple teams in the Central, Chris, and see what you say about that. Sorry, I'm totally off center this morning. I don't care. We're having fun today. All right, Christopher, Dallas Stars. They are 8-1-1 in their last 10 games. The Pete DeBoer-led Dallas Stars. Can Pete DeBoer, Chris, lead a team to a Stanley Cup final, including this year's Dallas Stars team? Contenders or pretenders?
DeBoer, pretenders.
Chris, listen, you hit the nail on the head right there. And Pete DeBoer, one of the classiest coaches in the National Hockey League, great to interact with. As far as his accolades go, he just seems like that coach that will do a wonderful job of having a good regular season, winning a playoff round or two, maybe even a conference final. And I think twice in his career, he's been to a Stanley Cup final, just could not get his teams over the hump. So for Pete DeBoer's sake, as long as it's not the Golden Knights' expense, I would love to see him become a Stanley Cup champion. I just don't know if he has the ability needed to become a Stanley Cup champion. I don't. And I hope he proves me wrong because I adore DeBoer and what he's done and everything. He's super cool guy, super nice guy. Let's see if he can find a way to turn it up in the playoffs. Hopefully not at the Golden Knights' expense. Colorado Avalanche, Chris, 4-5-1 in their last 10 games. Kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team, but they have won a Stanley Cup recently. Chris, what do you think about the Avalanche's chances this season?
I think they're at least going to the conference final, so I'll say contender. I'm saying they're going to the conference final. That's it.
Oh, listen, Dallas, Colorado would be a it wouldn't be a conference final because the way they do the playoffs, it would be a conference semifinal. And basically the way they work it out is that's usually how it's going to end up working out. Not always, but usually it's going to be a team from the Pacific and Central facing off to make it to the Stanley Cup. The wild card can possibly play into that a little bit. Winnipeg Jets, they've cooled off a little bit, but they've been playing some great defensive hockey. Winnipeg Jets made a big trade, including getting rid of Pierre-Luc Dubois. Winnipeg Jets, contender or pretender?
Contenders. Just because of their goaltender.
Exactly. Connor Hellebuyck is having a fantastic season. Give me the best coach, give me the best goalie, and that's how I'm going to start figuring out who may win a playoff series. Connor Hellebuck, I'm not betting against him unless it's, of course, against the Golden Knights. All right, let's shift our gears to the Pacific Division that we know best. I'll make this easy. San Jose, Anaheim are pretending to the max. The Hurricanes they're starting to make some trades. Although Braden Pahal, he's been doing pretty well since he was claimed off of waivers by the Cal 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry, by the Calgary Flames. So we'll see how Braden's career flourishes up in Calgary, and hopefully he'll do very well up there. All right, next 5 teams, Chris. Seattle Kraken. They had their moment in the sun right around the Outdoor Classic, and things have tapered off a little bit. Seattle Kraken, contenders or pretenders?
I just have to go with pretenders.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I was holding out hope that, and I say hope, I don't hope a whole lot, but I was higher on the Kraken for the about a 45-day span right around the outdoor game against the Golden Knights. They were doing really well. They got within 1 goal of making it to the conference final, possibly against the Golden Knights last year. And unfortunately, it didn't work out for them. Obviously, the Golden Knights faced off against the Dallas Stars, and we know how that story played out. Kraken, pretender. I'm not going to spend a whole lot more time even trying to figure that one out. Los Angeles Kings have been in a downfall for about the last 60 days. I will start off by saying the Kings are pretenders. Chris, are you going to argue with me or are you going to agree with me on that one?
I say they're at least making their playoff spot, but they're not leading the first round. Pretenders.
Listen, they've addressed some issues in the offseason. Maybe Pierre-Luc Dubois will become a better version of himself and help that team. Right now, that's looking like a terrible acquisition for general manager Rob Blake, which led to the firing of Todd McClellan, now the Kings' former coach. Coach took the fall for the GM's blunder. If the Kings don't get it together, Rob Blake will be looking for a new job, I think, next season as well. All right, our top 3 teams in the Pacific Division. We'll start with the Golden Knights, Chris. Golden Knights are contenders without a doubt. Without Eichel, without Theodore, still finding ways to get it done. Aiden Hill has the second best goals against average in the NHL. First, Hellebuck, I think, actually now has the best goals against. I could be wrong about that. I'm pretty sure it's Hellebuck. But Aiden Hill, the more important stat is the save percentage, which Aiden Hill is the league leader in. Logan Thompson doing a serviceable job as a backup goaltender. The defense is still intact. You got a little Zach Whitecloud is falling off a little bit. Hopefully he can rebound. We got the emergence of Nick Waugh right now, who is just having a fantastic season once he's been thrust into a top 6 role. And it's going to be really interesting to see how Coach Cassidy handles the lineup when Jack Eichel returns. I predict Chandler Stevenson or Nicholas Waugh actually are going to move to the wing upon Eichel's return. We'll see if I'm on the ball about that one or not. So me and Chris agree. Golden Knights are contenders. The current division leading Vancouver Canucks on the verge of potentially bringing back Phil Kessel. Phil Kessel, possibly. We'll see if that plays out. Kessel looked a little tired in his skates with the Abbotsford Canucks last couple of days. We'll see if Kessel has enough in the tank to crack the roster up in Vancouver.
What? He's in the AHL?
He's working out with the Canucks, with the Abbotsford Canucks. He's not in anything right now. He's trying out. All right, Chris. Vancouver leads the division by 12 points. Golden Knights have played 2 less games than the Vancouver Canucks. Golden Knights play the Canucks 3 more times throughout the regular season. That's 12 points that can be shifted either way if you magnify each of those being 4-point games. Vancouver Canucks, Chris, contenders or pretenders?
Contenders.
Yeah, I mean, listen, they got 28 games to prove me wrong, and I don't think, or 27 games to prove us wrong. I don't think that's going to happen. Canucks are playing very well. They get full credit for what they've done. Only knock on the Canucks is, do they have the experience once the playoff lights turn on? We'll see if Phil Kessel can help with that. Rick Tocchet, coach, plenty of playoff experience as far as his career in the National Hockey League. so that can make up for some of the players' inexperience being in the playoffs. But Elias Pettersson, Quinn Hughes, Thatcher Demko, Bo Horvath, I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on for what's happening in Vancouver. It'll be a wonderful series for if the Golden Knights and Canucks do end up matching up. I mean, that'd be just phenomenal. All right, Chris, I left one team for last. Edmonton Oilers, little man. Oilers right now are 7-3 in their last 10 games. Golden Knights 7-2-1, so basically the same. The Oilers are 5 points behind the Golden Knights, but they've also played 3 less games. What do we think about the Oilers, Chris? Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers, contenders or pretenders?
I still see them getting past the first round. Right now, the season will end. Would we be against Edmonton if the season were to end?
If the season ended today, the Golden Knights would have home ice against the Edmonton Oilers in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, but either way, whoever they play, I still see them getting past the first round unless it's the Kings.
Well, Kings, it's not going to be Oilers and Kings in the well. I guess if the Oilers win the division, it could be Oilers and Kings in the first round, but that's a lot. Needs to happen on both sides. So for the record, Chris, the Oilers are pretenders or contenders?
Pretenders.
Contenders?
Pretenders.
There we go. Listen, I am with Chris. Whenever I say oil, I start talking about coaches and I get tilted and my face turns red and smoke comes out of my ears. And yeah, so Edmonton Oilers, we don't need to talk about the talent. We know McDavid. We know Draisaitl. We know Corey Perry. We know Evander Kane. We know Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Darnell Nurse, Zach Hyman. Stu Skinner is playing way beyond his reach. Jack Campbell is melting away in the AHL with the Gulls or who's the Oiler? Who cares? Bakersfield? I don't know. Who cares? Point being is the Edmonton Oilers keep finding ways to screw things up with their coach. They get Jay Woodcroft, did well in the AHL. Good for you, buddy. Now here's an NHL franchise. How did that turn out? Not good is the answer. So now let's bring in, was it Chris Knobloch? Not Chuck Knobloch. He can't make the throw the first, but Knobloch is the gentleman's last name. Knobloch, same deal, success story from leagues besides the National Hockey League. So here he comes. Now you get this NHL franchise with possibly the best mix of high-end superstars. In the playoffs, this is going to be a concern. The players can possibly win a series or even win the Stanley Cup despite Knobloch. They possibly can. That's how good the talent is. But if it becomes coach versus coach, as many playoff series do, and then goaltender versus goaltender, as many playoff series do, the Edmonton Oilers, they might make it out of the first round depending on who they play, but I don't see the Oilers getting past the Golden Knights. I don't see the Oilers getting past the Vancouver Canucks. I don't see the Oilers getting past the Avalanche or even the Dallas Stars for that matter. I think the story at Edmonton is good. Terrible start. They were basically the San Jose Sharks as far as their record went, and obviously they're a little bit better now. But when the playoff lights come on, the Edmonton Oilers will fail and not make it out of the first round. There's a prediction from me. So Edmonton Oilers are pretenders. That was a fun show today, Chris. You have fun? That was good. Where do you? You're gonna be watching the game tonight?
Oh yeah.
You're gonna be a lifeguard. You're gonna watch some hockey and watching some more hockey. All right. Want to give a special thanks to my daughter Allie for joining the show today, and definitely looking forward. Chris, stop. Definitely looking forward to enjoying the night with my daughter Allie up in the seats. Want to thank our cat for making his first ever appearance on our podcast. Pumpkin, Dorito, Cheeto, Orange Cat, Nacho, Garlic. I hope I got that.
Cheeto, Dorito, Orange Cat, Troublemaker, Garlic.
How'd you do that in one breath? Jeez. All right, so there you go. Our cat made an appearance. Yay, go Cats. All right, make sure you check out the Locked on Vegas Golden Knights podcast every single, well, not every day, but every weekday, Monday through Friday. Catch that on YouTube, anywhere else you can catch your podcast. Easy for me to say. Saturdays is the Chris and Allie and Pumpkin, Dorito, Cheeto, Nacho, Bel Grande, Orange Cat, Gallic show. That is a YouTube exclusive right there. All right, the wheels are off. Here comes the Stanley Cup. He's going to spill. Don't spill anything all over the place. All right, we're done. Guys, thank you so much. Really enjoy doing these shows with the family. And for those of you that do check this out, thanks for taking a few minutes out of your day. Thanks to the everydayers for watching. Thanks to the super everydayers for checking us out on Saturday as well. For myself, for little Chris, for Allie, for Pumpkin, for any other critter that decided to make an appearance on today's show, thank you for watching Locked On Vegas Golden Knights, and take care.